Yep. Mac 11, Soul Invest Returns. Let's do a relatively quick one. Okay, so self-talk. How you talk to yourself, right? Not only is that very, very important, it just shows you how you generally feel and think about yourself and how you're going to eventually inevitably show up to all other people in your life. And if you're a business owner or you've got clients, you've got customers, etc., and you're giving yourself these BS thoughts throughout the day, throughout your work life, home life, whatever, consider that a blessing that you're even able to consciously realize that that's happening. Ideally, you're able to catch yourself, and you're like, whoa, that's not nice, that's not helpful, I need to change that. On the quick, all right? And it becomes really important when we're talking to ourselves as we're going to bed and as we're waking up, because those times a day we are in a lower brainwave state, so things are becoming more porous. And if you look into things like rewriting your programming, your subconscious mind, and things like that, it's much easier in a lower brainwave state. And if you know anything about hypnosis and things like that, lower brainwave state, you can change your state, you can change your fundamentals, your soul, your core essence, much easier in a lower brainwave state, in a more relaxed state, etc. So, what inspired me to even make this video was this concept that the way that we talk to ourselves at the end of the day and at the beginning of the day, and more specifically in the beginning of the day, we're going from this very, very relaxed state. We're going from sleeping to wakefulness. And as we're waking up, I want you to think about it. I want you to feel about it. What are you thinking? What are you feeling about right as you wake up? And do you remember your dreams? If not, that's probably because you go into thinking too quickly. And I want you to pay special attention to what you are thinking of as you're waking up. Now, for most people, as we could figure, and I do this a lot too, doing it less and less though, thinking about, what do I have to do today? What do I have to remember? How quickly do I have to get out of bed so that I could do this and that routine? You know, who do I have to talk to? Who do I have to meet up with? What time do I have to start breakfast? What time do I have to leave the house? Yada, yada, yada. Alarm clock, check your phone, notifications, all this stuff. So be very, very aware, more so every day, how we are waking up, and more specifically what we're thinking about. So now what I've been getting myself to do, and thankfully it's becoming second nature, is waking up and having these general positive, beneficial, existential thoughts like, hey, I'm alive. Hey, I get to be alive for another day. Perhaps, right? We don't know if we're gonna even live through the day, but it's these general thankfulness, these beneficial, these uplifting thoughts of, I get to be alive for another day. It's not, I have to this, I have to that. I get to, right? I get to work. I get to be alive. I get to tell the people that I love and care about at least one more time that I love and I care about them. Put things into perspective. I was gonna try to make this like a 3-minute or less video. Oh well, the inspiration's going and flowing. We're gonna keep making these things happen. But just imagine that. Just think about that, feel about that for a second. Waking up, and instead of concerning yourself and worrying about and being anxious about all the stuff that I gotta do today, that I have to get up, I wish I could sleep more, yada, yada, yada. No. I get to be alive for another day. I get to have a car. I get to have a living space. I get to have a house. I get to have an apartment. I get to have food. I get to have water. I get to play, right? Life is tough. Life can be tough. Sometimes it's easy. Lots of times it's tough. If we treat it like play, even things that are not solved, right? I get to figure these things out. I get to play around with my life. I get to experiment. I get to be creative in my solutions. I get to figure things out. I get to experience more interesting things. Life is generally interesting. Life is a general curious endeavor. I get to figure things out. I get to play. I get to play the sport of life. I get to do it. I get to be alive. I'm allowed to be alive for just a little bit longer. It's pretty darn cool. Pretty darn cool. So if we're zooming out to the general concept of how do we talk to ourselves? How do we think about ourselves to ourselves? We are in a beneficial place. We are creating more value for ourselves. The more we invest in our souls, the more we talk to ourselves better. We treat ourselves better. We envision ourselves better in all future interactions. Whoever we get to talk to, whoever we get to interact with. When we have higher and higher and higher self-esteem, self-image, we just keep winning more and more and more. The better we talk to ourselves, we keep winning more and more and more. More successes, more expansions, more upgrades. We're doing better with ourselves, with our lives. Everything's getting better. Let's keep doing it, right? If you've gotten any sort of inspiration from this video or other videos, you know what you coulda, woulda, shoulda been doing, right? Keep checking out my stuff. Think about it. Feel about it. Do about it. This is Mac 11, Soul Invest Returns. Catch you later.